All right, folks, so we're going to take this from May God Protect You, Good Master.
So technical rehearsal basically is when you have the set, the actors, the stage manager, everybody's there in the production, the cast and crew, and they're spending basically a week on the show before the show opens rehearsing together 24/7.
He's ready to march. I hope he's not getting regrets because he's starting to like the girl. That sort of thing.
You can act, little lady.
I want to play.
Got money?
Silver?
My God, that's cocky.
Bello. Whatever you say, Corporal.
No. We hold.
Hold, please.
So,
The idea that the director has of a show, they communicate it to the rest of the team, so all the designers, and we as lighting designers have to figure out how to create that sort of mood in lighting. For Wild Thing, I was the associate designer, and my professor, Penny Remsen, was the designer. And something that she really wanted was to create basically what the psych is back here, what this back wall is. She wanted it to be a legitimate sky and portray that as a sky as best as possible without it looking sort of cheesy or whatever. So she really wanted clouds that would move. And it starts out in a warm, sort of bright daylight atmosphere. The sky's up, it's blue. And then as it starts to get a little darker, the clouds start to roll in and it gets a little cloudier. So she really wanted to have clouds that were moving on stage. So it was my job as her associate to figure that out because she didn't want to really deal with it. She was doing a lot of other work.
Work's going out on stage.
The technician work of taking a designer's design and bringing that into the real world and helping them and supporting them to get what they are envisioning in their head is what I really do appreciate doing. So that's why I like to focus on more of the technical route and just kind of being there to be like, hey, tell me what you want, we'll make it happen.
So wherever Gina wants her to go, we can
Yep.
just adjust it and put a spike later.
So go back to where you were.
For the end of that scene, Colin, or before it?
Great.
So 28 is when we just restored to that full stage thing. I think that's when.
Yeah, focusing is the second step in getting the show to being performance ready. So after you've hung everything, it all turns on, it all works. It's when you actually place the light where it should be on stage. And so that's typically what happens is you'll have a number of electricians in the air and you'll have a designer chilling out on the stage or wherever that light needs to go, and they will stand where it's marked, and you have a single electrician working on a single light, and it's just kind of futzing around with it, making sure it looks exactly how the designer wants it, one by one by one by one, till you get all of them.
So it's not for everybody because when you do walk up there, you can kind of like bounce up and down and it feels like you're gonna fall through, and it's not for everybody.
Is when you take all of the lighting instruments and you actually put them in the air. The master electrician will chill out somewhere in the space and direct all the electricians as to where the units should go, roughly where they should be pointing, and wiring everything up so that it turns on.
So a light plot is probably the center point of everything that lighting does. It is basically a 2-scale draft of the theater and all the rigging positions for lighting units. So the light plot tells you down to every single inch where every light should be on that plot, which the designer has spent a lot of time doing math to figure out that this light from this spot will make a circle this big on an actor's face and all that kind of stuff. So using the light plot is really, it's like a map of where to put everything, and then you use that as a supporting piece throughout the rest of the process to make sure everything's staying where it is and to get power to every light and figure out kind of what everything needs.
Stuff. It was only
I'll put focus areas on tables, please. So, yes.
Come in like half an inch. Stop there.
Working with the same few designers over and over again, like we do here, you kind of like, I know exactly what Erin's gonna want, I know what Sydney's gonna want, so it's as quick of an interaction as it can possibly be.
A little more downstage. Are you good with one a little more on stage?
So, designers, if we could just be nice to Melissa, it's our first focus call. Please call out your light when you're done with it too. just
How's
so
that?
we're on the same page.
Yeah, let's go with that for now. Lock it in.
So this is our light lab. So this is Desdemona. So whenever we have a light lab project in here, so we use the space for like classes to create looks and stuff. Or if like, say for example, I was designing a show and I wanted to see what a certain sort of light would look on a person, we use Desi. She's so creepy. Like, I walked in here once and she was standing right center and I had to turn on the lights and she was just there. Like, she's so creepy. She doesn't have hair or anything. It's stuck to the floor. It's like stuck on her like little rolly thing. So you can't, she can't even have hair. She always falls apart. Up here is called the catwalk. So basically, if we want to hang lights over the audience shooting towards the stage, this is where we'll hang them. So we have 3 catwalks, and we haul lights basically up here to hang them and then focus them for the designer. This pulley system, we physically, this entire bundle of rope gets thrown over the catwalk and drops all the way to the ground down there, and there'll be a person down there clipping on the light. So when they clip on the light, they signal to us that it's ready to go, so then that's our cue to pull up the light itself. And usually there's a lot of inventory, a lot of lights already up here, so we won't have to do too much for the most part, but if there are things that aren't up here, that's what we have to do for it. Like, everybody in this department's extremely hardworking. That's something that I really admire. They really put on shows that they wanted to look the best it possibly can.